Hi there. Welcome to part three of this three-part series on a grand analysis of I am. And this is going to be a mercifully short video entry on this subject. It's really just to talk about the fact that in any relationship uh, with God or with yourself, or with your significant other, uh, or with your colleagues at work, or your next door neighbour. Uh, you need to bear in mind that these relationships work best, or just work, from the basis of establishing I am, and cultivating I am within your life. And if you are attempting to establish or maintain a relationship from the basis of denial, which we talked about before in part two, or in the basis of pain, or even from the basis of a response to scarcity, which is basically the response of soul to this world, which then you go into fear and frustration and futility and all the other F demons that we talked about before on this channel. If you attempt to establish or maintain relationships from the basis of anything but I am, then that relationship is going to be under considerable pressure, and abuse could enter into the relationship. And because relationships are based on love, then when abuse enters into a loving relationship, or what is supposed to be a loving relationship, this of course causes what they call cognitive dissonance, whereby you expect there to be love between you and your significant other, or your children, or siblings, or whatever, or whoever. Instead of which, the opposite occurs or is perceived, and that leads to sort of a dreadful kind of mixing up of feelings, and you don't know what's what really within your own mind, and that's often reciprocated in your partner, in the person that you're having a relationship with, all persons. So there's a lack of communication, or communication breaks down, which leads to war, as Winston Churchill would say, not jaw, but war. And But thinking about the demons and about God, um, this is actually going to be a bit funny video, because I'm going to talk about the fact that the demonic forces. I actually do believe in the demonic forces, and I think Gnostics traditionally have believed in the demonic forces, demonic orders of demons, and individual demons, and groups of demons, and of course the great king of demons himself, or the king of Qipot, or well, we'll just say call him the king of Qipot anyway, and the king of the Quipper, which is the plural of Qipot. So these are the shells that derive energy from either exacerbating a negative situation, or by corrupting a good situation, which they very often want to do. Well, they have to do it in order to get sustenance for themselves. So I don't want to judge the demons. They're just doing what they're supposed to, what they're doing to survive, really, in a scarce environment, or environment of scarce psychic energy. Same as there's material scarcity, there's also psychic scarcity. present in the lower worlds as well, and the demons are just responding to the scarcity, like we all are, by grabbing and holding on to what they've got. Um, in a very non-Buddhist kind of way. But that's it. That's the condition in which we find ourselves as humans and as demons, no doubt. But so, there's no malice is a sort of judgment. It's not malice really. It's just necessity on the demon's part. Anyway, so the demons can often they get a lot of energy from corrupting your relationships, because the relationship is supposed to be based on love, and if you can corrupt a relationship, there's a lot of psychic energy to be siphoned off from the corruption of love. And of course, if you love God, and that relationship comes from anything other than I am, which is a sort of center of excellence, a center of confidence within yourself, a center of self-love, then that relationship is going to be soured, it's going to be corrupted, and this will affect your religious life. It will affect your relationships with other people of like religious mind. And so there, we have a sort of corruption of religion itself, stemming from this situation. And you may say, well, is this something to worry about? Well, not really, because, well, not at all actually, because it's you can't worry about these things. There's nothing you can do about it really, except put your trust in the Lord, and follow the instruction of the various avatars of God that come to help you through periods of soured relationships. So relationships can be obviously restored and should be restored, and they are restored through the grace of God. And this is, an inevitable thing. So not something not to worry about. You shouldn't worry about these demons, and also the demons. You should say it does not matter. So these demons belong to the worlds of matter and worlds of scarcity, to be more accurate. Scarcity in terms of psychic energy, for want of another term, and scarcity in terms of material scarcity. So these demons arise from that situation, and you are presented with this scarcity as they are, and you have a choice about reacting to that scarcity, either by being rational and loving and spiritual, or not. Whereas of course the demons don't have any choice; they just are what they are. So they can only react in an instinctual, non-rational way, is why they do what they do. But you don't have to go down that road. You don't have. You can be better than that, and you are better than that intrinsically. And because of that, and because you're able to establish I am, whereas the demon has no I am. I mean, they're shells. They're empty. They don't have a core. They don't have soul. So they are just algorithmic patterns, whereas you have different algorithms, so to say, which allow for a different paradigm to develop within your consciousness. So that's kind of nice to know. So again, there's nothing to worry about. But I think I've covered this before about saying, the demons are kind of like a shadow group of entities that shadow everything, every thought, every consequence, every action, every atom of every molecule, everything that we write down, everything that we put on YouTube, everything that we say, everything we're going to say, everything that we think, everything is shadowed by a demon. Um, and so the very, very complex ecology grows up around what humans do and think and act. Well, what sentient beings do and think and act like. and all over the universe. So, as you can imagine, there are millions and billions, well, uncountable number of demons and archdemons and orders of demons. There are millions and millions and millions of orders, never mind individual demons. And a very complex ecology grows up whereby everything is feeding off something. Demons feed off each other as well, of course, and orders of demons feed off each other. So it's a great big kind of feeding fest that's going on. And at the top of the pyramid, of course, is the Lord of the Qipot, who basically gets all the surplus food that's going around. So that all the demons at the bottom of the pyramid, they're all feeding energy, a certain amount of energy, up to the top of the pyramid. So it's like it's like a diamond ambassador with the pyramid selling schemes. You know, the person at the top of the diamond of the pyramid selling scheme is the richest of all, because they're getting all the accumulation of wealth from the activity below them. So it's kind of quite good to be at the top of this pyramid because you get you get everything. You get a proportion of everything that's due to you. So that's why this pyramidal hierarchical system exists. It exists for the people at the top of the hierarchy, and for the king or emperor at the top of the hierarchy, at the very top, the very apex. And But again, it does not matter. It is God, and it is not concerned with matter. It's in the world, but it's not of the world. So the world is here, and it is there, and your consciousness is tending towards it, rather than tending to, well, hopefully, rather than tending towards matter. Because if it's tending towards matter, it's worried about scarcity, and then you get into fear and fury and all the rest of it, and frustration, blah blah blah. And if your consciousness is directed towards it, then you're in the world, but you're not of the world. So, and so you establish a kind of Gnostic way of living or thinking about things on an everyday basis, because of course because you're in the world, you will be knocked back. You will be dragged back to scarcity and worry and pain and denial every day. There isn't anybody in this world who can sort of build an astral fortress against this stuff. You can't. You're going to be overwhelmed every day. So you need to be rebaptized every day in Holy Spirit in order to bring yourself back into alignment after the day's hard knocks. And life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. So you're making plans within this world, and then this world just spits on them, or dilutes them down in some way that you're dissatisfied with the results in some way. So there's always something lurking around because they want you to suffer so that they can feed off you. All right, so that's the idea, and that's not malice. That's not malicious. It's just the way things are. But it's also the way things are that you can tune into the it. You can tune into spirit every day and traverse this world without getting too dragged down into the various pitfalls that surround you. But despite that, the demons do like to try to corrupt your relationship with God. Their greatest hope is that, their greatest feeding frenzy occurs when a relationship with God goes sour. So obviously, it's in their interest to try and trip you up as much as you can and to sour that relationship with God. I mean, it's not from God's point of view. God loves you unconditionally, but you can be brought out of love for God on a daily basis, and because it suits the demons to do that from a nourishment point of view. I am. It is important to establish I am. But at the same time, I think to establish I am, you also need to develop a relationship with God, you see. So um, it's a kind of tautology in a way, really, I suppose, which in this world, tautologies exist and contradictions exist as part of the matrix of this world in order to, again, in order for you, for these contradictions and tautologies to actually feed the demons that these tautologies and contradictions serve. This world is made for them. It's not made for you. You are just fodder. You're just cannon fodder. You're collateral damage. And of course, these orders of demons are all fighting each other. The house of Satan is at war, constant war with itself. So these orders of demons all hate each other more than they hate you, which is kind of nice to know. It's just that we're caught in the crossfire. It's like the Chicago gangs in the 20s. They shoot at each other, and often bystanders get caught up in the gunfire. Do you know what I mean? So that's the kind of situation that we're in. So I can't really say much more than this about I am, because I said in part two, I personally can't imagine I am. I can't imagine a world that is all I am, and that is all God and Spirit. I can't imagine it. I can't comprehend it, if you like, because the darkness comprehends the light. Not doesn't comprehend God. The darkness doesn't comprehend. So the darkness in me doesn't comprehend what I'm actually talking about in this video. So in many ways, this video is completely hypocrisy, isn't it? Because I'm talking about something that I've actually never experienced and don't comprehend anyway, or very partially or vaguely comprehend it. But this video is all I can do. It's all I can offer you at this stage, and hope that it provides a sort of signpost for you to follow along on your journey to I am. Hmm.